All right, well, I've got two beautiful planes sitting here in front of me. We've got the UMX Timber and the UMX Cirrus. Cirrus, however, is in really, really rough shape. I'm going to talk about these birds, do a little bit of a follow-up with the Cirrus. Let's get into it. Alright, so here we are with two beautiful planes from the UMX line from E-flite. Here we have the Timber and here we have the Cirrus. New plane, really popular, a lot of interest in this plane. Trick is, mine's not in the best condition anymore, and I want to talk to you guys about that. Now, the reason we have the Timber out is, the Timber, I've been able to go through my logs, and I have logged almost 76 flights on this plane. Well, not almost 76 flights. I have logged 76 flights on this plane. It's been a beautiful plane to kind of get back into the hobby, cut my teeth on, and make mistakes. Now, the reason for that is because it is surprisingly forgiving. Beautiful plane, really well built, but more important, very repairable, extremely repairable. So I have had to replace the fuselage once on this plane due to really severe nosedive crashes. And again, beautiful plane for me to learn on. The trick is, she still flies absolutely perfectly. So it's 76 flights. When we go and look at the price of this plane at about $130, we're now down to a reasonable cost of ownership of this plane of about $2 a flight. That's fantastic. Anytime we have a plane that lasts that long, that we have replaced foam on, and it continues to fly as well as the first day, we have a dead winner. That's something we highly recommend and we can get behind. The Cirrus, however, has definitely seen better days and on far fewer flights. In fact, right now we are on a handful of flights, 5 flights with this plane. The plane is, in its current form, destroyed. Now, unfortunately, the reason we had so few flights on this plane is because we had another person out on the flight line doing low passes with a large jet, and I had to bank and swerve and ditch the plane mid-takeoff to avoid a mid-air collision. Not really super happy about that, right? But these planes are so rugged, generally speaking, that you can take and cartwheel this down the runway, pick it up, and throw it back in the air as long as you didn't break the prop. The Cirrus here is so delicate in its design. To be just blunt, this plane is not a great survivor. So we did have one crash. In that crash, we destroyed our tail rudder assembly, totally broken. We lost our cockpit. It ejected because all our magnets ripped out because our nose piece untaped itself. Spinner was destroyed. Prop is in beautiful condition, which is an iffy part. Landing gear is totally crushed and destroyed. Scuffs all over the plane. You know, those exposed linear servos that we have had so many concerns about, we have covered with a plastic shield on the Timber. We don't get that on the Cirrus. No direct damage to those, however, our main circuit board fried in our crash. We cannot get it to actually power on anymore. My theory behind that is this prop is so bendy, so flexible. I think what happened is I nosed this into the ground and we basically overloaded the circuit board by halting the motor while it was still spinning. Instead of breaking a prop or a prop shaft adapter, we burned out the circuit board. So, you know, I've been on the Horizon hobby website looking for replacement pieces. The hard part is, on this plane right now, there's either nothing available or the prices for the replacement parts are well over 50% of an entirely new plane. She's a beautiful plane. I mean, she really is. And I'm really disappointed that she's toast. But just to replace the main circuit board inside of this, the controller board, because it has the linear servos baked into it, we're sitting at about $60, $70. Again, on a $130 plane. That doesn't include the fact that we do need to replace props, spinners, and an entire rear rudder assembly. You know, add on another 20 bucks. We're at the point where really it's just better to buy a new plane, and then we don't have all the damage on it carrying through into our next series of flights, let alone some of the kind of hacky repairs we'd have to do to address this landing gear where the foam around it just completely ripped itself out. To be honest with you, the weakness of this plane, without question, is this front steerable nose gear. Even before we started taking it out and flying, this is something we worried about, and the foam has completely given up, allowing it to be crushed into the fuselage. Yeah, it's an unfortunate crash. It's an unfortunate event, and this is where we start getting into nitpicky stuff that matters. Again, even our very first takeoff and landing with this, we had to land a lot faster than we expected for the UMX line of planes to keep the lift up on this plane. Being hyper accurate with regards to scale doesn't always translate down to performance with these itty bitty teeny planes. The timber, you know, we're very lucky in that we have giant beautiful flaps, and we can literally take and drop this on a 1 foot landing area and it'll stick just fine. Not so with the Cirrus. Not only that, but because we have to come in and land so hot, again, that front gear being under-engineered, I just don't see the durability in this current iteration. So, having had a chance to really look at the plane, to fly it, to crash it, and now to look at repairing it and get it back up in the air, inability to repair some of these pieces myself, just with, you know, foam tack and some CA, it puts it into a category where I don't know if I can recommend it. I really don't. I think what I need to do is, to feel good about this plane, I need to see E-flite go in and engineer a little more strength into that front nose gear, just at least so even on a regular takeoff, on a runway, it's not wobbling and looking like it's trying to break itself free. If I could see that, I'd feel a whole lot better about this plane. Other things I would like to see in a version 2, let's get those servo covers on. You know, that seems like a no-brainer. Again, the timber has them. They've already got the part. It's the same exact linear servo. They've already got the component parts. Just glue the part on the plane, please. That's all I'm asking. You know, these pods, they're another interesting component because there is a lot of wobble in these pods. And again, we're taking off actually on a very new runway. In fact, it's only a couple years old. Beautiful runway, but even then, the grain size of the asphalt in these tiny wheels, and I mean these are tiny wheels, it's enough to catch them, to bounce them, to vibrate them. I'd like to see a more rigid construction with regards to the landing gears so that we don't have these constantly being stressed as we're trying to take off and land this plane. So there's our follow-up review of our Cirrus UMX. It's a sad day. I hate to have to bury a plane, but I think we've got to do it today on this one. Fortunately, I've got my timber I can go back to, and we'll get up in the air and at least have some good flights. Until next time, keep flying. So as you can see, there's a fair degree of commitment that we at Angry Zeppelin have for you, our viewers.
It's so true. All of this comes out of our own pockets, so please be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and let us know in the comments down below what else you'd like to see here on Angry Zeppelin.
Until next time,
Keep flying!